La 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 la.
Demonetized. Hello and welcome to another episode of Cinema Punx Podcast. My name is Max and I'm joined by my beautiful co-host and wife, Kate. Today we're going to continue our series on video game adaptations by diving into the 90s classic Street Fighter, the movie. The movie. Yes, Street Fighter, the movie. Came out December 23rd, 1994. Directed by Steven De Silva. Starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, Raul Julia, Ming-Na Wen, Damian Koopa, Kylie Minogue, and Wes Studi.
La 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 la.
Demonetized. In this movie, General Bison, Raul Julia, the evil dictator of the Shadaloo Corporation, captures busloads of relief workers and holds them ransom. Colonel Guile, Jean-Claude Van Damme, leads an internal strike force to evade Shadaloo and rescue the hostages. Along the way, Guile recruits Ming-Na Wen, Chun-Li, a reporter and martial arts expert whose father was killed by Bison years ago, 2 young men, and a sumo wrestler to take down Bison's regime. Oh, man.
Did good.
Yeah, this movie. So...
Special,
where were
another
you
special
when
one.
you saw this?
Oh my God. Honestly, I don't remember. I remember. I think we rented it from Blockbuster the first time I
Okay.
saw it. We didn't see this one in theaters. So yeah, I think we rented it from Blockbuster because my older brother really wanted to see it. I had played Street Fighter and I really liked Street Fighter.
Oh, the game was awesome. Everybody loved the game.
I mean, I was young, so I had no clue that a Street Fighter movie was being made. Like,
Yeah.
unlike, like Mario Brothers and stuff. Because I don't remember there being like big fuss about it. I could be totally wrong, but just remembering back, I don't remember there being big fuss. So I was just like, oh, there's a Street Fighter live action movie. Cool. Yeah, and as a kid, I had no idea what was going on, but there was a lot of kicks and shooting and cool action. So I enjoyed it as a kid. I thought it was cool. What about you?
Yeah, I really don't think I saw it until I was like a teenager.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I was big into Mortal Kombat, and that
Okay.
was like more my thing. And I don't really think I was really into Jean-Claude Van Damme that much. So like, yeah, I was more.
He was
of
the
an,
man.
I was more of an Arnold guy, and like
Okay.
Stallone and stuff. So
Okay.
like Van Damme was like, a little. I don't know.
What,
I mean,
he was
I
the
liked-
pretty boy of
I like
action
Bloodsport.
guys?
I like Bloodsport, but like,
and kickboxers.
yeah, I never
Universal
saw
Soldier.
Kickboxer. I never really saw any of that. So like to me, I think that's probably why I didn't really watch it, or just my family didn't have it. But I remember watching it for the first time and being like, "What does this have to do with Street Fighter? Like, what is going on?" And who the hell let Jean-Claude loose in those snow mounds, if you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was definitely doing some skiing
Yeah.
while he was in this movie. That's totally for sure. But I think we would be doing a complete disservice if we didn't address the elephant in the room first about him playing
Oh, my God.
an all-American
All-American boy.
boy.
Colonel Guile. All-American. Muscles from Brussels. I mean, Louisiana.
Well, supposed to be from Louisiana, but he didn't even try.
Well, that's how they were supposed to explain his accent. They had a line in there where they were going to say, like, yeah, he's Colonel Guile. He's from Louisiana. And they just scrapped it because they couldn't make it work.
You can't justify that.
They couldn't make it
just,
work.
No.
And they had a lot of problems with this movie before it even started with with some of the shooting locations in Thailand. Some of the warehouses that they were shooting in was way too loud. You could hear all the raindrops. They were getting flooded. So all of the footage that they had for like the first 9 or 10 days was scrapped. So they already had that. They had Jean-Claude running amok all times of the night, not showing up to set.
Yeah, what was his excuse for not showing up to set?
Oh, he needed to pump his muscles more. I need to pump my muscles more. I will be there tomorrow. And
Just
we get it done.
Straight up wouldn't show up.
And man, if you watch some of the deleted scenes and you see like when he did show up, man, you're like, oh yeah, he was like just getting in the scene. I'm Guile, I gotta go. And you're like, what the hell? And even Ming-Na Wen, who's acting in this scene with him, is like, okay, so that happened, and we're gonna move on.
Yeah, he was definitely, this was peak Van Damme. And he was asked to be Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat, turned it down to do this instead. And yet he still played Johnny Cage. he still played him.
Wow. Yeah, and this is actually Van Damme's highest paid movie. He got paid, I think it was $7 or $8 million for this role.
Yeah,
it was like a quarter of their budget, and that was
a lot for the time.
And then they landed Raul, who God rest his soul, R.I.P. He was suffering from fatal cancer, from terminal cancer, and he was going through treatment at the time, and he didn't even tell anybody really how bad it was or what was going on with him. And he just went through it, and he committed, and he did every scene like a professional and brought his all, and every scene that he's in is fantastic, man.
Oh my God, he's
nothing but respect.
Definitely the best
for
part.
A true artist in the field.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah. Well, it's really cool hearing the other actors who got to act with him because he wasn't telling anybody. They saw him at the cast party, like when everyone got cast, and then a couple months later when they started filming and he had lost so much weight and he was so small and so sick that they were like, oh my God, like what's going on? But then when the cameras were on, he was just on, and they were like, it's the most amazing. It was the most amazing thing to see,
and you see it. You
totally see it. It's like every ounce of energy that he did have, he completely mustered and he put into that, and you would have never known. I mean, except for like,
some parts you could see he's a little skinny.
You could see it in his face, but
you would never be able to tell by his acting. And when he was asked why he took the role, he said 100% for his kids. His kids loved that video game, and he wanted to give them something that they could remember their father with. And that's a beautiful gift. If nothing else, this movie is a beautiful gift to his children.
Who also got to be on set with him every single day. He made sure they were on set and hanging out in his trailer all the time.
Yeah, man. So with that, with two big names like that, the budget was kind of low. So
needless to say,
they didn't have the budget to train their fighters in fighting. I mean, to train their fighters in fighting. Yeah, to train their actors in fighting. Because they hired actors instead of fighters. And then they hired 2 fighters that were like, let's hope they can act and see what we can do. And it created some tension, man. The fight coordinator thought he was going to be working with them months beforehand. He didn't even meet them until they were on set, had no training. But they figured because the moves weren't real, they weren't based in any reality, the fighting didn't need to look real. It's a video game movie. It doesn't need to look real.
Yeah, well, and Capcom was insisting that they add
their special
moves in, and this was months
or
not months into filming, but weeks into filming, and they had already shot fight scenes.
Well, the guy
it was like an afterthought.
The guy trained them all in the same martial art. He didn't know they were different martial arts.
They
were all fighting the same. And they was like, hey, man, why are they all fighting the same? He's like, wait, they were supposed to not be? Like, dude, so, like, what?
Mess.
So, yeah, you got craziness. And then on top of that, Capcom drops onto their plate, we demand 15 characters. 15 main characters from the game must be in this movie.
Yeah, wasn't it? It was 3, then 5.
I think it was
then
5.
Then 7, then 9. Then 15.
And they were like, 15. We want 15 characters. So they're like, God damn, 15 characters. They had a deadline of getting this movie out by Christmas time, and it was only announced in 93. This came out in 94. So they only had a year, 13 months, and they would not budget. They would not budge, and they're like,
my
"Yo,
young
you want
brain
more
wasn't
characters?
wrong.
Let us. You want more characters? Then you gotta give us some more time." And they're like, "Nope, you gotta do it now." So that's why we got all types of interesting takes on characters like Sagat and some others that were very interesting.
And Cammy was added in.
Yeah, Cammy was added in later.
Yeah.
Funny enough, Cammy was added in because when they moved the shoot from Thailand to Australia, Australia has one rule, and the rule is if you're going to film here, you need to hire at least one Australian actor.
So they got la 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 la.
Demonetized.
But actually, I
actually enjoyed her acting.
I liked her as
think she was
Cammy.
bad.
I think
she looked the part.
She looked good. Obviously, she was adorable at the time. She's
And I mean,
super
her
attractive.
and Van Damme definitely had.
Oh yeah, there was some hanky panky going on between Miss Cammy and Mr. Guile behind the scenes.
Hey, Guile was running amok all over the place.
I'd pay to see it. I mean, I was just saying. The characters.
but yeah, I mean, it was a really interesting time. Another thing that they I think was really cool that they wound up doing was they wound up shooting around Raul's schedule because of the treatments that he was going through and everything that he had going on.
Didn't he had to gain weight back?
He had to gain back weight because he lost so much from all the treatments that they were working around him, and it was really cool to hear that, and that they brought his family onto set and had them there with him. They said it really was the best thing they ever could have done because it brought him to life. It literally brought him to life. And the other actors said, the guy who played Ken actually said that when he was working out, he would be in the morning like, oh man, I gotta work out muscles. I don't look like this video game character. I gotta look like a video game character. He said he would see Raul in there every morning working out. Ever since his kids showed up, like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get this done.
Yeah,
and he said he was an absolute
the
professional.
more you learn
motivated.
about his dedication to this role, you just respect it so much more, and you have so much more of an appreciation for him just as like a person, because he knew very well that this was going to be his last movie. He was very aware, and everyone looking back is like, this guy was literally dying as he's hitting the gym every morning, making sure that he's given the performance of a lifetime, doing stunt work, doing all wire work.
Every single scene he's in is 100% him. He did not have a stuntman. He did not allow any stand-ins. It was him. That's amazing. Going against the muscles from Brussels, man. Those splits. Raul's like,
whooped him.
Come to me. so yeah, man. So that's like a lot of what was going on during this film. So let's get into the film. Really, it's a wild ride. We see Van Damme in all of his glory. We get introduced to Ming Na. We get introduced to Chun-Li, who's a reporter.
Yeah.
Trying to really just get her own information because she wants to take down Bison, who killed her father. And she has her team, which is our sumo and our boxer. Okay, so we got those guys. They're in there. And we run into Ryu and Ken. So they fake Guile's death on TV so that Bison thinks Guile's dead and that he can take over the world and he can have his ransom be done. So little does he know, Guile recruited Ryu and Ken to infiltrate Sagat and infiltrate Bison's regime and try to save the hostages and take him down from the inside. So that was a performance of a lifetime from our man Van Damme. You can see him sweating in every scene that he's in the back.
Yeah, literally every scene.
Oh my God, that beginning.
I don't even think he remembers being in that movie.
Yeah.
I can't imagine he does.
I don't. I just. Oh.
But we got it. Okay, so we already got the accent. He didn't even try. The bleach blonde hair. They tried, and the amazing American flag temporary tattoo.
Dude, they didn't try with that.
They didn't even try to make it
that
look
looked
real.
like somebody Sharpied it on him.
That was the most American thing about him, was that he had a fucking 4th of July temporary tattoo that you can get from the dollar store.
I mean, respect.
In the summer.
He did die gracefully. So you know, Ryu and Ken. What did you think of him? What did you think of Ryu and Ken? Because we know Ming-Na is the perfect Chun-Li.
Oh, Ming-Na
she was
is
the
a
perfect
goddess.
Chun-Li, and her team
I love her.
I thought was perfect.
Ming-Na is
we already got into Van Damme.
I love her so
but
much.
Ryu and Ken.
Ryu and Ken were very and they're supposed to be the focus of Street Fighter.
Right?
They're the title characters.
I thought.
I
might be wrong. I may be wrong.
But nobody else thought that.
I played many corners in that game for years.
And Ryu and Ken. And so Ken definitely was he was a bit of a little bitch. I'm just gonna say it.
Oh yeah.
He was only ever thinking about himself. He was only ever out for himself.
He wanted that money.
Ryu always had to rein him in and make him like be a good person. I have to give it to the actor. He didn't have any martial arts training.
No, and he did. He
got in good shape. He got in good shape. He tried his best with what was going on because, like he mentioned, they weren't able to practice any of the stunts. They just didn't even have time or money to even practice the stunts or practice the fight scenes.
Nope.
So they're very sloppy. So I can't really fault him for that. But as far as like how he played the character, I guess he was doing the best with what he was given. Didn't do it for me. Ryu, also totally forgettable.
Yeah, man. He wasn't a good actor. Like, he was a good looking, like, he could look the part and he could fight. And, I mean, the fight with him and Vega.
He's a good martial artist.
Yeah, the fight with him and Vega was pretty cool. Vega looked spot on. That actor couldn't act. But they didn't really give him any lines because they knew it.
But that's fine.
But Vega served their purpose.
He looked great.
It served their purpose.
I'll give him that.
Serves purpose.
But when he took his mask off for the first time, he was so... You just picture, like in any anime, when there's that pretty guy and he takes his mask off and it's just glistening like... That's totally what I picture when Vega takes his mask off because he comes out all tough and you're like, yo, this dude's scary. And then he takes it off and he's just like, I'm beautiful. And it's just like, oh.
Witness me.
Okay. Well, and oh my God. Speaking of that, who was supposed to play him?
Oh, Fabio.
Initially,
they wanted Fabio to play Vega.
Fabio.
Oh man, I'm glad we got what we got because that would have been a sight to see. You know, I think everybody in the '90s probably would have loved it, but it was an interesting choice. So you know, those were cool scenes. That was a good sight to see. Sagat, I mean, he looked kind of like Sagat with the eye thing. Never fought.
No, never did anything.
Was a gangster that worked for Bison.
A tough guy with an eye patch.
Tough guy. I mean, yeah, I guess that works. Whatever.
He did look like him. He
did look like him.
He just kind of naturally looks like him.
I guess so. So that kind of worked. But yeah, so you know, Ken and the boys, Ken and Ryu, infiltrated their way into Sagat. Sagat's gonna bring him to Bison, and meanwhile, Ming-Na, the way that they infiltrate their way in, Ming-Na and her team. So I keep saying her real name, Chun-Li, and her squad.
Because she's just so amazing.
They infiltrated their way in, and they want to take them down. When Bison came to meet with Sagat, because she wants to kill Bison. So instead of giving up their mission, you know, they turn her in and her team in to Bison. It was really cool, the scene with her dancing and stuff like that. I thought that was super hot, super awesome.
Oh yeah.
And then,
she was in. I mean, she's still in amazing shape, but she was in killer
we
shape.
Didn't get to talk about how good of a fighter she is, but
oh yeah.
I mean, we'll get
beyond
there.
all that, like she's gorgeous. Her body's fucking on point.
Still to this day, too, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, she was definitely. She played a really good Chun-Li.
Yeah,
she played a really good Chun-Li because the fun part about Chun-Li, at least for me, she's one of the first characters that I remember that was sexy and could kick ass.
Yes, but she wasn't like it wasn't over the top. You know
No,
what I mean?
no.
It was
but
like,
at least like in video games, like
Yeah.
she's the first video game character that I remember that she was totally adorable. She had her little buns. She like, yeah. But she's fucking you up.
That's
and
true.
and Ming-Na perfectly captured that essence of her.
I
I loved it.
100,000% agree.
Using it to gather intelligence on you.
So this is the scene where we get our infamous bison bucks.
Only printed in hundreds, by the way.
Only printed in hundreds, and once I take over the world, this will be the only currency there is. So we are very happy owners of a $100 bison buck.
Yeah,
so-
we're gonna see what
yeah,
that's
that
worth
was-
someday.
That was really cool. But I thought it was cool there too how Chun-Li turns it on. They have the bomb. That's when they turned her in. Now Sagat, Ryu, Ken are in Bison's favor, and we are now in Bison's lair. So the boys made it. The boys. They made it
Reluctantly.
to the lair. One thing that I forgot to talk about this was Bison's friend who is being tortured Guile's friend who's being tortured by Bison and being turned into Blanco.
Oh my God, into Blanc.
Which
Yeah,
was so weird.
that was really
Such a
interesting how
weird
they
take.
did that.
Such a weird freaking take.
I guess they had
Uh,
to explain why he's green. They just
Wow,
had to find a
okay.
way because it's so grounded in reality that they just had to like do some weird experiment.
I
to
mean,
make
this is
him.
basically a G.I. Joe movie, so did you really have to explain? But anyway, so yeah, I forgot to mention that, but yeah, so we get to the place and we see the hostages. We get to meet our Russian buddy who can say the thumbs up. Hey man, let's get you some good threads. I love that actor. That guy was awesome. He was so cool. Ate up the scenery. And yeah, we get to the big end here. We get to the infamous scene where Chun-Li is alone with Bison, and
Best scene in the whole
she
movie.
tells him her story on how he killed her father, and he says to her, "To you, the day that Bison rolled into your town was the worst day of your life. To me, 'twas Tuesday."
Ah,
The day Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday.
and the way
Like a G. As he's
way
getting
he acts
changed,
it.
As he's getting changed, I love the way he just in one move is getting changed, takes off his hat, changes his hat, and he's still got this Bison hat on as he comes out.
and he's
In
just
a
making
robe.
a
In a
martini.
robe.
He
I love
doesn't
it.
give any fucks.
Still got the Gomez in there. Still was able to bring
Yeah.
the Gomez.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Still, this man had class. This man.
Oh yeah, he
had
was a classy
class.
bad guy. But I did love that, and apparently he actually drew a lot of inspiration for like his mannerisms and the way he was acting from Mussolini.
Oh wow.
And he watched like a lot of his like speeches, and so he got his like diction down and his mannerisms and all of
Wow.
that.
See, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and you
can
could
kinda-
totally,
you can
totally
see
see
it.
that, in the way he holds himself and like
Yeah, like and how
puffs
he's
his
regal.
chest and
Yeah.
everything.
Oh wow, man, that's great. That's awesome.
But he did such a good job. But yeah, I love that scene so
oh my
much.
god, where she shows him, I can fucking fight
Oh,
too, and I
yeah.
can kill you right now.
Yep.
I could kick your ass.
Yeah, this is
That
when
was-
you really see Chun-Li.
Yeah, that's
just
when you really
get
see her get down, and you're like, oh, all right, this is dope. So then from here we got Ken and Ryu getting their new Bison suits, suiting up. But you get the turn. You get the final battle. You get Giles here now. The army's coming in on their speed boats. They're fighting everything. Everybody's fighting on the inside. You get the special moves.
The amphibious-
Hadouken, but without the Hadouken. There was no even... He didn't even say Hadouken.
No.
There was none of that.
They just a light
and-
bulb broke.
Oh, in their budget. because they didn't have enough to really do visual effects. They weren't even able to give him his little blue thing. They just had a light flash.
They literally had a light flash.
Oh, just do that. You know, whatever. And even
I don't think
the
anyone
boxer
liked
dude
it.
doing his little. That guy couldn't fight at all. They didn't even give him to the stunt guy. They were just like, yeah, he's a boxer. So he's like,
Yeah.
It was bad. It was bad.
There was much to be desired, but yeah, the amphibious assault.
The amphibious assault.
That's what the boat is. It was the amphibious assault.
The amphibious assault.
Well, because originally they wanted to come in with helicopters and attack Bison's hideout and everything. And when they were filming that part, which was still in Thailand, there was a martial law was enacted because there was some civil disputes going on. So they weren't allowed to have helicopters because they didn't want to
confuse it with actual military
and they wouldn't disrupt the locals and everything like that and create a fuss. So that's why they had to switch it to the amphibious assault.
Oh man. Yeah, that was a wild ride. And so Guile gets in there. Van Damme against Raoul. And dude, you got to give it to this man for being like whatever stage he was in his treatment, getting up there and going toe to toe with him, not allowing a stunt double, not allowing a stand-in, demanding that it be him. And the cool thing was, like, he did tower over Van Damme. He was like 6'3".
Yeah,
and Van
I think,
Damme's like 5'8", 5'9", maybe.
Yeah, Van Damme is
like
he's
kind of a short dude.
Notoriously pretty small, right?
He's just like a normal sized dude. He's not like tall or nothing. He's just like an average size.
That's why he does the splits, so you don't notice how short he is.
He brought that presence and that acting, that amazingness that's in him. That
when he made
Grammy
himself big,
was big. It gave him that bigness.
Yep.
He didn't need to. Like you weren't ever thinking that. You would never have known.
Because Bison was awesome. Massive. He had massive shoulders,
muscles,
super muscular. He was the biggest dude out of anyone.
Oh yeah,
in the game. And he just made himself that big. You believed he was.
Brought it in every way.
Yeah.
In every way. And dude, Van Damme's doing it all. He's coming at him with a flying kick. Whoa! When he flies in, and I mean Van Damme's doing his thing. He's spinning. He's selling it. He's making it look good. He's sweating out all that cocaine. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Hey, cocaine's a hell of a drug. But eventually...
Yeah, he showed up for this day on set.
Yeah, I mean, hey. So eventually we defeat Bison and, all the team gets together at the end and we get the infamous little... the Power Ranger team fucking...
But I love how, Cammy turns around and just shows her ass. Like, she's just like... That's the one thing that sticks out the most.
Oh, and now the Russian guys on their team because he's
yeah.
Oh, you good guys! Hey, how big we doing now? Hey, what's going on? I didn't know Bison was crazy, man.
Well, they realize at the last minute they haven't been getting paid.
Oh yeah! Oh my God!
They haven't been getting paid.
Wait, you've been getting paid? No.
You got paid?
It's like, well, then fuck this guy.
Screw this job. No, I love the black dude. That's Bison's assistant. At the one part, Bison's like, we will take them down. Do not let them stop us. Because as they're winning, and he's just like...
Yeah, he just inches out of the room. He's like, I'm good. I'm piecing.
He's like, I'm
piecing.
I'm just gonna go now. Oh yeah, and he's breaking into the safe trying to steal stuff and leave with it. Yeah. Yo, that was awesome.
That was so good. But
that was awesome.
Well, and it's funny because even the director who the last movie he did before this was a stoner comedy in the 70s.
That was the only thing he ever did.
And
that was it.
He, apparently people, in more recent times, later on when it became a cult classic, were like, this movie's so funny. And he's like, no shit.
Yeah, it was a
supposed to be.
satire. He's like, it was a satire.
Yeah, he was like trying to make it goofy and silly.
But
so
dude, what is the theme with these video game movies and giving it to these directors? They had no
business touching
business
them.
doing anything like a franchise with millions of dollars.
Who were vaguely familiar with the source material that they were working with.
Like, I can't believe it, but man, was it a wild ride, and I still love it to this day. It's one of my favorite movies.
It is a good one, and especially when you go back and watch it through the scope of, Van Damme being in the state he was in, and Raoul being in the state that he was in.
Yes.
The two main characters.
Well, and having a new appreciation for Ming-Na Wen. Because now that her career is really blowing up, people are getting to see her. And they're like, oh, my God, little did you know she's been around for years, guys. And you can go back and see her kicking ass all the way back then.
And
you know
she
what I
was
mean?
a hardcore Street Fighter fan.
Oh, yeah. She used to play the video game. And
she used to go to arcades
and
and
beat it all the time, man.
Like, she fought for that role literally and figuratively, and it totally shows. I think she is a completely underrated like the dark horse of that movie. Everyone talks about Raoul, and of course, obviously, he's Raoul Julian. He's amazing.
100%.
And Jean-Claude, but she doesn't get the appreciation that she deserves because she was amazing. She was charming. She kicked ass. She did her own stunts, and she really wanted to be there, and she wanted to make sure that she did Chun-Li justice.
Well, yeah.
And I think she did.
Well, I was going to say, she kind of carried it on her back with the state.
Yeah.
With the state that, because she mainly filmed with Jean-Claude. With the state Jean-Claude was in, she carried those scenes.
Yeah, she was a pro. She handled that.
She carried those scenes. So,
she handled that.
To me, this will always remain a classic. This is definitely one that's going to go in the books. But I guess the final question here is, you Guile, me Bison, on the arcade, who do you think's going to win? I got Bison Buck right here.
Oh.
Place the bet.
I don't know. I mean, I think just because it's me playing as Guile that I'm naturally going to win.
Come back next time and find out.
We got it on our arcade. We're going to test this out.
We're going to go test this out.
Let us know in the comments who you think is going to win.
We got some Bison Bucks on this one, y'all.
Let us know.
Guys, that wraps this week's episode of Cinema Punx. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can catch us wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music, Spreaker, Podbean, wherever you listen to podcasts, YouTube. If you like what you saw, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Please hit that notification bell so you can get our videos whenever you want. If you'd like more access to us, you can actually go to Patreon, patreon.com/outworldsounds. You get a bunch of goodies. You get some access to early videos. If you're into music, you get some cool music. You get some live streams. And let them know what's coming up soon.
Exclusive merchandise.
Damn. Merch drop straight to you. So, yeah, if any of that piques your fancy, come back and see us. All right, y'all. We'll see you guys next time.